Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to another video. So for those of you who have watched my latest video, the one where we were first using this grapple, my son and I, you will have noticed that we had a little counterweight issue. This grapple, now right now it's got the bucket in the middle of it too, but the grapple by itself is like 300 pounds. And it sits out kind of far. It's sort of long. It reaches out pretty good on the front of the machine. And Bradley was on there. Bradley weighs about 140 pounds. And so he had the grapple up and he went forward, and the front of the tracks just dropped into a little depression, and that was enough to get it started going forward, and it just stood the thing right up on its end. So we need a little more counterweight on this bad boy. So that's what we're going to do today. I've got this plate down here. This is about 1.5 inches thick steel plate. I think it's 24 or 26 inches across and almost 9 inches wide. And I'm not sure the weight. It's at least 100 pounds. It might be a little over that. It came off of an old hydraulic press that we decommissioned up at work, and it was going to get scrapped, and I've got this one. I've got one more just like it. But what my intention is, I'm going to bolt it to the bottom of this platform here where I stand. I've already got the holes pre-marked on each side. We're going to drill through. It is conveniently, that plate is already got holes drilled in it because that's how it was mounted to that press. So if I drill the holes right and the right size, I should be able to mount it right to the bottom of that thing, and that'll, you know, out here towards the back end of that platform, it's going to give it some nice counterweight leverage, and hopefully that'll make a big difference when using the grapple and using the bucket with a heavy scoop. So I'll get this all kind of set up, and then we'll get going with this. Okay. Well, of course, when I went and got my other drill, came back, I forgot to restart the camera. But so the holes are done. I went one less size than I was going to, but it's still plenty big enough for the bolt. So now I got to see if I can get this towed in there. I've got a brick and a 2x4 chunk underneath there. My plan will be to set it in on top of that, set it on it out here, and then try to slide the whole thing in there. Big old heavy thing. Pick it up. Gracious. It is a toad. It is a toad. Alright, let's see if we can slide this under there all in one piece. You know what? I bet if I lift this up, it'll be easier. This little plate has a tilt function. I don't know that I would really use it very often, but it turns out kind of handy for this. Oh, gracious. All right. All right, we're not high enough, so I got to find another piece of wood or something to put under that. Well, okay, so I got the plate under there. I got one bolt started over here, and somehow, well, not somehow, due to my own stupidity, I'm a good 3/4 of a hole off on my width overall for the width of where the holes are on that big plate. How I did that, I don't know. I measured it a couple of times and rechecked myself, I thought, but I screwed that up. So I got to try to widen these holes over here, and I'm not sure yet how I'm going to try to do that. Drilling those out will be a booger. I'll probably drill a couple of small ones to this side, and then I've got a burr, a steel burr that I can put on there and widen it out just enough to get the bolts in. So anyway, that's where we are. Stupid is as stupid does, so I get to do this over because I was stupid. Okay, so we're gonna try. I've clamped that bracket that had the original holes on it, offset over those holes, as you can see, and I'm going to try to use that as a guide, and maybe I can just drill it using that as a guide. We'll find out here shortly. I'm not holding my breath that this is going to work real well, but desperate measures, you know what I mean? All right, I think we can see that all right. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oops. Gotta get my transmission fluid. Little lubrication.
Oh man, that almost worked. Got pretty far down in there. Hey, got that one. Alright, maybe this is going to be successful. That was trying to lock on me. And the chuck is slipping. One thing about those keyless chucks on the cordless ones, they sure do hold better sometimes than these guys. Come on, baby. Try a little farther over. Kind of melting our way through there. It ain't pretty, but it's kind of working. Let's see what we got happening.
Over the little bracket, so that won't move. It shouldn't move. Let's try this again.
Move another way, of course. Why would I expect that to be different? This side too. That's two. Lots of hatred and gnashing of teeth.
All right, that might do it. Maybe. Let's see what we got under there now, under that mess. All right, we got some longer holes for sure. Okay, let's try and hoist that heavy mother back under there. There's just no good way to do this. Ugh. Alright. Now, if I can reach my bolts that I left way over here where I can't get to them, of course, get one started. See if we can get one started over here. Just to hold this sucker. There we go. Oh, missing a washer though. Okay, that'll hold it. And I can see how far off I am everywhere else. Ay, ay, ay. What a pain. Yeah, I'm off over here too. We can get these two in, I think. Yep. And we're gonna try. See if I got enough slack in there. Get this one in. Not quite, but we're just a little bit off on that one. Okay, well, at least I know how to do it. I'll do the same thing. I only have to do it on one hole over there. Just like that.
Alright, go back. Just keeps getting better because the sun's coming out. Our sun's getting past this building. So I was trying to do this all while it's still in the shade, but oh no, wouldn't want that to happen. Alright, that's through. And the easiest hole of the bunch. That's a shocker. Now it's started. Well, let's take the bracket off first, shall we? Good gracious.
Put the lid back on this before I spill it. Alright, that one's gonna go. That one's gonna go. All right, we are in business. Finally. And I got a big mess to clean up out here. But, all right. So I'm gonna tighten all that up and clean up some of this mess. And then I'll get back with you and we'll start this thing up and drive it around a little bit. See how it does with that counterweight on there. Okay. Counterweight is attached. Bolted on there tight. It's like I said, I'm not sure the weight of that thing, but it's at least 100 pounds, if it's not more, maybe 125. And it's out all the way at the end of that little platform. I think what I'm going to do though, those little clips in there, those spring-loaded pins, they poke out through the side. I'm going to probably take those off and actually put bolts through there, some grade 8 bolts, because I don't need to fold that platform up and I want it to be a little sturdier than those pins. With me on there and that thing, we're probably talking, I'm about 220, so if that thing is 125 pounds, you know, almost 350 pounds on there, on that little platform, hanging on those little pins. So I'll reinforce them a little bit. But that grapple is big. Now I'm leaving the bucket in it right now for some extra weight. Even that bucket's got to be 150 pounds, maybe more than that, maybe a couple hundred. So between the grapple and the bucket, there's probably 500 pounds on the front right there. So I'm gonna put this camera on a tripod, and then I'm gonna work this machine back and forth. I'm gonna put the bucket up and like go forward and just stop suddenly and see how much it tilts and wobbles, and kind of see what a difference that extra weight on there makes. I'm sure it's going to help quite a bit. Okay, well, so the bucket fell out, kind of fell out. So once I dropped that and the thing was even lighter, it definitely made a difference. It feels a lot more stable. It's not trying to tilt forward when I come to a sudden stop. And that's with me on there. You know, when somebody smaller, lighter is running it, that's going to help a lot too, because I think in that other video where Bradley was on it and it tilted up, stood itself up, I think if that had been me on there, I don't think it would have done it. It probably would have tried, but I think I would have been enough counterweight to stop it. So, because it went over really slow, it didn't like catapult them off of there or anything. So, but anyway, I think that counterweight is going to help a whole bunch. So we'll find out the next time we use it on a job. Guys, if you like that video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep these coming, and I will catch you later.